I'm innocent. You know? I didn't force her to do anything against her.
From criminal allegations to personal betrayals, these shocking revelations from Kobe Bryant's alleged victims are reshaping everything we thought we knew about the legend. Caitlin Faber, among others, has come forward with accusations that paint a different picture of the icon, challenging the carefully crafted narrative around him.
I think Kobe raped this woman. Yeah.
The 2003 incident involving Kobe Bryant was a pivotal moment in his life, one that shaped not only his personal reputation but also his public legacy. At the height of his career, he was faced with one of the most serious legal challenges of his life. The accuser, a 19-year-old hotel employee, later identified as Caitlin Faber, accused Bryant of sexual assault after an encounter that began as consensual but reportedly turned violent. According to police reports and court documents, Faber described the events of June 30, 2003, as starting with consensual kissing but quickly escalating when Bryant allegedly grabbed her by the neck, bent her over a chair, and sexually assaulted her, despite her repeated protests and attempts to leave. Physical evidence from the assault examination corroborated Faber's account, revealing vaginal lacerations consistent with forceful penetration, bruising on her neck and jaw, and DNA evidence linking Bryant to the assault. The case became one of the most high-profile sexual assault cases in sports history, forever altering both the lives of those involved and the public perception of Bryant. The forensic evidence in the case seemed to back up Caitlin Faber's claims of violence during the encounter. When questioned by Eagle County Sheriff investigators on July 2, 2003, Bryant initially denied any sexual encounter had occurred. However, once confronted with the overwhelming physical evidence, the DNA and blood on his clothing, he changed his story. He admitted to having sex with Faber but maintained that it was consensual. Perhaps most disturbing were Bryant's own admissions during the police interview. He acknowledged holding Faber around the neck during sex, describing strangulation as something he was into, even admitting to having done it with another woman who wasn't his wife. The case moved forward in the criminal justice system, with Bryant being arrested on July 4, 2003, and charged with felony sexual assault on July 18. The potential penalties were severe, ranging from probation to life in prison. Bryant pleaded not guilty, but the evidence against him was mounting. His defense team, led by Pamela Mackey, used every tactic available to discredit Faber. They attacked her credibility by bringing up her sexual history, pointing to evidence of semen from another partner found on underwear she wore during her medical examination. They painted her as mentally unstable, citing her history of depression and past suicide attempts, and suggested she was motivated by money and fame. The psychological warfare against Faber was relentless and devastating. Her name was accidentally leaked multiple times by court officials, violating laws meant to protect sexual assault victims. Faber faced death threats, hate mail, and intense media scrutiny that dissected every aspect of her personal life. T-shirts with slogans attacking Caitlin Faber's character appeared, and she was vilified across emerging social media platforms. The relentless media harassment and public shaming reached a breaking point as jury selection was set to begin in August 2004. After more than a year of legal battles and personal torment, Faber made the agonizing decision to no longer participate in the criminal prosecution. On September 1, 2004, prosecutors announced that they were dropping all criminal charges because their key witness, Faber, refused to testify, but the story didn't end there. A civil lawsuit was filed in August 2004, and after months of legal proceedings, it was settled out of court in March 2005 for an undisclosed amount. Legal experts estimated the settlement exceeded $2.5 million, the maximum allowed under Colorado law at the time. In a carefully crafted public statement, Bryant issued what many considered a non-apology apology, expressing regret for the incident but maintaining that everything had been consensual.
Innocent. You know? I didn't force her to do anything against her will.
Later, Kobe Bryant acknowledged the victim's perspective, admitting that while he believed the encounter was consensual, he now understood that the victim did not share that view, after hearing her testimony and reviewing the evidence. The immediate consequences for Bryant were harsh, with major endorsements like McDonald's and Nutella dropped, and his jersey sales plummeting, costing him an estimated $100 million in potential earnings. However, the long-term impact on Caitlin Faber was even more devastating. She disappeared from public life, her dreams of a musical career forgotten, and her identity forever tied to one of the most controversial sexual assault cases in history. The public persecution she endured throughout the legal battle left her in silence, a stark reminder of the harsh realities faced by those who challenge powerful figures. Meanwhile, the case not only exposed Bryant's darkest scandal but also inflicted deep emotional wounds on his wife, Vanessa, who endured years of infidelity and public humiliation throughout their marriage. Despite standing by Kobe through his hardest moments, she suffered repeated betrayals, with her husband's disregard for her painfully evident. The first major crack in Kobe and Vanessa Bryant's marriage became public in 2003, when Kobe's sexual assault case in Colorado forced him to make a devastating admission. At a press conference, with Vanessa standing by his side, Kobe confessed to committing adultery while still maintaining his innocence regarding the assault charges.
I'm innocent. I didn't force her to do anything against her will. I'm innocent. No. Not sitting here in front of you guys, furious at myself, sussing out myself for making a mistake of adultery.
What the public didn't know at the time was that Kobe's 2003 sexual assault case in Colorado was just the beginning of a much larger pattern of infidelity that would span their entire marriage. The case was merely the tip of the iceberg in what sources later described as a systematic betrayal of his wedding vows. Vanessa's response to the scandal, standing by him publicly while the intimate details of his extramarital encounter were dissected in court and the media, set the tone for their ongoing dynamic. Following the incident, reports suggest that Kobe gifted her a $4 million, 8-carat purple diamond ring, often referred to as an apology ring, which established a troubling pattern where expensive gifts followed revelations of his infidelity. However, the 2003 case was far from the end of Kobe's extramarital activities. According to multiple sources and court documents from their eventual divorce proceedings, the cheating continued and escalated over the years. Vanessa, it seemed, had learned to tolerate it, often placated by lavish gifts and Kobe's promises to change, promises he reportedly laughed off privately. On December 16, 2011, Vanessa filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. However, multiple media reports and insider accounts at the time attributed the split to Kobe's repeated affairs. The timing of the divorce was strategic, exactly 10 years after their wedding, aligning with California law that provides indefinite spousal support after a decade-long marriage. The scale of Kobe Bryant's infidelity was staggering. Tabloids reported that Vanessa believed he had cheated with over 100 women, estimating at least 10 affairs per year since their 2001 marriage, around 105 total. This figure came from Vanessa reportedly confiding in a friend. The constant lies and deceit were painful, but the sheer volume of betrayals left her devastated. The affairs varied in nature, with reports claiming a long-term affair with a young cheerleader, possibly a Laker girl named Vanessa Curry, starting in 2008 and lasting over 3 years. Rumors also included affairs with Filipino actress Michelle Madrigal, Playboy playmates, and female rappers. Online forums discussed Kobe's alleged affairs with women in Beijing and China, with some suggesting a preference for Filipinas, Asians, and Latinas. One of the most shocking allegations was that Kobe introduced a mistress to their daughters, who were 8 and 5 at the time. This act reportedly marked a breaking point for Vanessa, as bringing his infidelity into their children's lives represented a new low in his disrespect for his family. During the 2011 NBA lockout, which lasted from July to December 2011, Kobe was allegedly caught in an affair that served as the final straw. Vanessa reportedly hired private investigators, who compiled a thick dossier of evidence, including photos and details of his affairs. The discovery was particularly painful, as sources claimed Vanessa was tipped off by the wives of other NBA players who had witnessed or heard about Kobe's behavior firsthand. Without a prenup, Vanessa stood to gain significantly in the divorce, seeking joint legal custody of their daughters with primary physical custody for herself, and potentially half of Kobe's estimated $150–360 million fortune. Some speculated that the timing of the divorce filing was strategic, with her ex-stepfather telling TMZ that her mother had taught her to wait for the 10-year mark. However, the divorce was called off on January 11, 2013, after 13 months. Vanessa announced the reconciliation on Instagram, stating, "We are pleased to announce that we have reconciled. Our divorce action will be dismissed." Vanessa's story is particularly tragic because of her unwavering loyalty despite repeated betrayals. She stood by Kobe during the 2003 sexual assault case, publicly supporting him even when he admitted to adultery. She endured years of rumors and tabloid speculation about his affairs, only to have them confirmed in the most public way possible during the divorce proceedings. In July 2024, former NBA player Sebastian Telfair shared a story about a woman in his social circle who disappeared for 8 months after attending a Lakers game, only to resurface, allegedly having been staying at the Palazzo across from the Grove in Los Angeles, implying an affair with Kobe. While Telfair faced criticism for bringing up a deceased icon's behavior, his account fits the pattern of Kobe's marriage, a consistent disregard for his wife's dignity and wedding vows. But Vanessa wasn't the only woman affected by Kobe's actions. Former housekeeper Maria Jimenez later revealed a disturbing pattern of abuse within the Bryant household. Her time working for the Bryants from 2007 to 2008 revealed a toxic environment filled with workplace harassment, verbal abuse, and degrading treatment. This culminated in a highly publicized lawsuit that shed light on Kobe's need for control and dominance, extending into his personal life and creating a harmful atmosphere for those who worked for him. Jimenez's story exemplifies the dysfunction that permeated the Bryant home, impacting both his family and those employed by them. Jimenez began working for the Bryants in September 2007 as a live-in housekeeper. She reportedly worked 6 days a week, for 10 to 12 hours a day, handling various household duties in their upscale Newport Coast residence. As part of her compensation, the Bryants allegedly promised her health insurance, which later became a key point of dispute. According to Jimenez's allegations, the mistreatment began almost immediately after she was hired. She claimed Vanessa Bryant subjected her to a consistent pattern of verbal abuse, including badgering, harassing, and humiliating her in front of Kobe Bryant, their children, and others. Specific insults reportedly included calling Jimenez lazy, slow, dumb, and a liar, along with cursing and screaming. The most notorious incident involved pure degradation. After Jimenez accidentally washed an expensive blouse worth $690, Vanessa allegedly ordered her to retrieve the price tag from a bag containing dog waste, forcing her to put her hand inside.
Vanessa forced her to put her hand in a pile of dog poop to take out a price tag for a blouse that she ruined by putting in the washer.
Vanessa then reportedly demanded Jimenez continue working without pay until the blouse's cost was.
Vanessa reportedly demanded that Jimenez continue working without pay until the cost of the blouse was covered, turning what began as an accident into a case of wage theft. Additionally, Jimenez claimed that Vanessa invaded her privacy by monitoring her through video cameras, even during times when Jimenez believed she had privacy. As the situation worsened, the workplace conditions became unbearable, especially when Jimenez fell ill.